Okay, enough about these boats and and rivers. Why are you always talking about that? uh, Boats and rivers, and in one of my videos I made about an old Huck Finn. Why so much about that? Well, because it was an escape for this old poor boy down here in the cotton mill. He'd escape out of the cotton mill for a little bit of gas and a cheap aluminum boat. You could escape up the river. And like I put in my song, like an old Huck Finn. Except you're not going down the river, you have to go up the river here, Ken. Anyway, this was my this is the boat that's still out there in the yard. It'll be here when I'm gone. Uh, all you got to do is uh, change the motor out and get you another motor. Somebody gave me that motor. Gave my son that motor. It was a 15 horsepower, but it had a short shaft on it. It would not run at all because of the shaft would be out of the water because this was rated for this boat was rated for 65, 70 horsepower. But I eventually got a long shaft motor. But anyway, we used this one for a long time. This mechanic in the cotton mill, I went in and I talked to him. I drew it up on paper. I shouldn't be telling this, but the mill's gone. I drew it up on paper what I want him to do to where I could hang this motor off the back of this and it extend the shaft down into the water a few more inches. And I just drew a picture of it. This was such a nice, child of grace, but he was an old timer. I came back about an hour later. He'd done fashioned exactly what I wanted to put on the back so we could use that motor on this boat without having to buy a new one. We rode everywhere with that thing. 15 horsepower. How ridiculous. But anyway, this boat will still be here when I'm gone. 100% aluminum, all weld, no rivets in it. And this was the top of the line for me, brother, as far as aluminum boats. And it's not really even a flat bottom. It's kind of a progressive hull. You get the stability of a flat bottom, but then it will break through the water if you ever decide to put a bigger motor on it and go fast. But anyway, the mill and the cheap aluminum boats was an escape from the cotton mill that we enjoyed. We enjoyed the water. I believe God's people enjoy water. But anyway, we'd go up there and find a sandbar and take a swim. Might swing out on some vine like Jungle Jim, catch you some catfish and fill up your pan and live off the bounty of God's great land. Just a little bit of gas, you could do that back then. Anyway, this was what I wound up with after all my trial and error. It kept getting bigger and bigger. This thing was over 18 feet long, just huge boat, aluminum boat. But it would take your whole family and then some up the river and around the bend, like old Huck Finn. But anyway, that's what I want to put on here. Why am I put these videos up about boats? It was my escape where you could get out in God's nature and not think about the cotton mill for a while. And you could wash some of the lint out of your hair and soak up there on one of them sandbars up the river. But anyway, I hope you don't mind me putting this up there. Anyway, that's what we did one day. We went up the river and found this old. We're sitting out on this old abandoned dock on this island up there, and we're having a picnic lunch. What a fond memory! You just took a minute out of life. Of course, at this time this was made. This was a lot going on in the world, even back then. But anyway, we got the hot sauce, Louisiana hot sauce, and whatever, some crackers, sardines and stuff like that, viennas. But anyway, just want to show you that. That's my brother there. oh yeah, when I turned around after I took this picture, a snake swam by me. A snake swam by me. I left it alone. Anyway, just thought I'd put this up there and talk a little bit today. I'm not going to talk about anything spiritual except, uh, oh, look at here. This is what I did on the 4th of July one day. There was this island right out there close by the one of the camps and everything. And people would get that island if you didn't get there first. So I had this tent. I went and I put it up a day or so ahead of the 4th of July. It was already there. So we got the island for the whole 4th of July weekend, which was our break from the meal. And there is a little beach right there. You might see, might show it to you later. But I just got these few pictures out to show you. This was our escape, and we still, back in the old days, we have fond memories of it. That was a nice tent, buddy. You got a good breeze, and it had I still got that tent. It's kind of getting ragged now. But you can put a tarp over the top of that thing and just get in it and use it for the mosquito netting in it. You know what I mean? But just want to get on and talk and tell you why I do so many of these videos about boats and stuff. It's always been fascinating about a boat and a little bitty motor. You could take a 3 horsepower. I had a 3.5 horsepower, or 2 horsepower, and it'll push that great big old boat of mine. If you could get the propeller in the water, it push that boat along. It's amazing. I guess that's why they call it shipping. It's the least expensive way to ship freight is to put it in a boat and ship it, because you can move it along water a whole lot cheaper than you can on land because of the mechanics of it, the physics of it, if you want to call it that. Anyway, I'll go back to this first one to show you the best boat in the world as far as I'm concerned. You can't tear it up. The wonderful thing about this is you could run it up on a sandbar or get knocked around. This one, tornado, a big pine tree fell on it, and a tornado, and it's still out there. Hardly even scratched it. So that's the good thing about that. You can't enjoy it if you're sitting there worried about your boat getting a nick or a scratch on it. You can't enjoy the water. So this one right here, we used to swim out of it, fish out of it, and just enjoy the lake with it. I fashioned that right there out of that top out of some PVC pipe, and I would prop up you see right there, I'd prop the oar up there and kind of hold that up, while I was going, and it keep the rain off of it while you're going. Or the sun. Really, basically, it was for the sun. So you'd have a way to get out of the sun. But just want to show you that this little thing today. Tell you the reason why that I'm always putting stuff up about the water. I think water, there's something spiritual about water, still water. I like it when it's calm, to tell you the truth. It's kind of calm right there, But I'm looking down on that right now from the a big balcony up there on top of the boathouse. So this video is just going to be about boats. Like I say, I ended up with this boat, great big huge boat, after starting out with a little bitty teeny boat that we sunk in. We got to get a bigger boat, but it's still out there today, and it'll be there when I'm long gone. If the Lord will, it'll be out there. And all they got to do is find them another motor or fix on the one you got or whatever. And because there's not any wood in it. There's no wood in it, not even in the transom. It's all metal. But anyway, peace and love, brothers and sisters, from Miss O'Moore down here in Alabama.